you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Looking to throw. Sutton. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Only a yard of the completion. It's second and goal. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up?
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. From a yard out. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
McManus's point after is good. And that makes our score 17-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
And you're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here we go. Here we go.
Throwing again is Watson. That'll be caught by Rice. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
What is that? 19.
On first down, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Watson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6. So that's now 3 first-half interceptions, and that last one even costlier as it's returned for 6 points. So as a quarterback, how do you regain your focus?
Well, QB 101 says you never show them that you're sweating. Still act like you're the guy, that you've thrown 6 touchdown passes, not 3 interceptions. But he's human. He's got to face up to his teammates. He's got to own up to that. See if he can brace up and also not look over his shoulder and see his backup starting to warm up. It's going to be a tough one for him.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean,
under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Daniil Hunter. just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
On the delay, it's Bush. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I know you feel that.
And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. Bush on 3rd down. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A good return there, 17 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Set, ready? 15, Lonnie. 15 line. 54.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
And McManus able to put it through. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And you're under a minute to go in the half. A first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
That's what I do.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. So we reach halftime here in our first Monday Nighter of the season. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now Joe Mixon. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
I'm coming after you. Ready?
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 down at the 31.
Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense. Let's go.
This is Mixon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Right there.
The tackle will be credited to Jake Ryan.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Watch the twist. Please rip.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon.
Get there.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
X3, 218, chopper.
Here I come.
Yo, faster. Let's go.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be ready for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though. Put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Let's see what you got.
First down, they stick with Bush. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Oh, you got deep? Two times.
We got three, fellas, we got three.
On second down now, it's Bush, and it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16.
Tighten up.
54!
They'll run it with Bush, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now this is fielded in the end zone. 34 yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Leo! Now!
Again, it's Mixon. And he's got room. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Gets past one man. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. Defensively, Sam Hubbard, the former Buckeye, there to stop him.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Mike's 59. Watch the flag, watch the flag, watch the flag. Watch the flag, watch the flag.
Now a give right side, Coleman. He's got the first down here inside the 30. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you that they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
They'll run on first down. Grant. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business in the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Kill, turn up.
Rock, shoot.
On first down, Mixon. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Again, it's Mixon. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Let's go.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll give it to Mixon, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Eight yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Steelers, you can't ask for a better start as they pitch a shutout here in the opener. And they'll get another road test next week as